years, I've had the opportunity to talk with hundreds of people, all who, with a smile on their face, reported that they've been working for their company for 10, 15, even 20 plus years. And we all know that in today's market, that's pretty incredible. So I'd ask these people, what kept you so engaged to remain at the same company for all these years? Most of them made comments like, I feel like this is an extension of my family, or I really feel like I'm needed and cared for and respected here. What I learned was that real employee engagement begins by building solid, caring relationships with your team members. For a good illustration of how important this can be, consider this true story from Madrid, Spain, home of over 3 million people. Years ago, there was a young man named Paco. Now, he was living with his father, and this 17-year-old with the common name was experiencing what many of us refer to as the generation gap. Paco didn't see eye to eye with his father on several things, and often they'd find themselves having intense arguments. During one such exchange, young Paco stormed out of his father's house, vowing never to return. Now, this was a scene that was often repeated in the past, but by day's end, Paco always found his way back home, and he and his father would settle their differences. But this time was different. Paco didn't come home. After 3 days, his father was very concerned and began searching everywhere for Paco, but couldn't find him. After 7 days of searching for his son, he placed an ad in the personal section of the Madrid City newspaper, and this is how the ad read. It said, "My dear son Paco, meet me on the steps of this newspaper office at 12 noon on Saturday. All is forgiven. I do care about you. Please come home. With love, Papa." It was reported that on the following Saturday, over 40 children gathered on the steps of that newspaper office at 12 noon, all named Paco, each searching for their father's forgiveness and love, and all wanting to just go home. This true story illustrates the power of one of our greatest human desires, to be cared about and loved by others. So the question is, as a leader, how do you demonstrate that caring type of attitude? Well, it's actually pretty simple. You can start by asking questions. As a young leader, I cared about my team. I just didn't know how to show it, and that, of course, was one of my problems. There's a saying that goes, if you want to grow people, you have to know people. The best leaders know this to be true, so they get to know their team. They learn about their families, what they like to do during their off time, their favorite foods, their TV shows, and above all, they find out what motivates each member of the team to do their best work. And what's the best method to do that? Just ask. Once my supervisor gave me that advice, so I started asking my team, what motivates you to do a great job? Now, to my surprise, they were pretty candid with me. I expected everybody to say they wanted more money, and a few of them did. But most people made comments like, well, I love it when I get to work on a special project, something other than my usual routine. Other people said, well, I do my best work when I get to teach new hires about the job. Now, the leadership lesson in this is we all need each other, and we all want to be needed. Leaders not only understand this, they use it as a foundation on which to build relationships. Leaders are givers, and being givers, they understand that the greatest gift they can give is to show each member of their team that they're truly needed, valued, and respected.